Hello guys, we have officially won round number 4. I just woke up, this is the first thing I'm doing during the day, and let's go. So I was playing with black, and against me person called Lenkov Stanislav 1685 was playing with white. So e4, e5, based on his rating, I'm not super happy with the game, but the only thing that I am satisfied with is that I played the Spanish opening, the Ruy Lopez opening, that I don't play too often, so it's good. a6, bishop a4, knight f6, d3, b5, bishop b3, and bishop c5. I do not know the variations, but I always use my brain. I love to play new openings because I just have the motivation to think during the openings. Like, I need to make every move perfect, because I might end up in a big trouble if I mess things up. Because, I do not know the lines in Ruy Lopez, really, but my opponents, they might know everything, like traps, some nasty attacks or anything like this. So I really love playing new openings because at least I have the motivation to focus. Castles, d6. Oh, sorry guys that there was a sound recorded. I'm gonna cut this off. d6, a4. Okay. Yeah, so obviously if he let's say I play h6, takes. Who saw that this rook is gonna fall? I hope that everyone from the audience saw it, and I hope that the audience is at least 10 people. Bishop g4. That's why I'm playing bishop g4. Why? Well, pinning the knight, fighting for the d4 square, and defending the rook with the queen. Okay, c3 to not allow me to play knight d4, castles, rook e1, a random move, knight a5, bishop a2, b4. Here the computer says that I'm a little bit better after rook e8. However, I did not want to play rook e8 because of the bishop on f7, and I have PTSD after round 1 and round 3 where I moved my rook from f8 to d8 and messed things up. h3, bishop h5, e takes. Oh yeah, one more thing, yeah. Oh, why did I play rook e8? Wait. Okay, that's how the game went. I took. The computer says that taking wasn't the best. I'm not sure why exactly, but I can tell you only one thing. I am playing for a win, and the only problem is that, for example, if everything, you will see in the future, right? But if everything falls down, my two pawns will be weak. My opponent's pawns also will be weak, but maybe I should have done something to prevent my pawns being weak and, winning the endgame easily, because, well, it was a drawn endgame. I won only because my opponent played badly. Queen d7, knight f1, rook a b8. This is the most important file in the game, so that's why I'm playing here. And after h3, the computer says to come to f3 with knight to b3. And, well, I must say, this looks good. I think it's the variation. This looks good. But again, I'm taking a pawn, but I did not even consider that. I was thinking inside a box. What box? I do not want to exchange this bishop for anything other than this bishop, because bishop in the Ruy Lopez is the strongest piece on the chessboard. So you cannot just leave this bishop on the chessboard, because you're gonna instantly lose the game. But really, this bishop doesn't do anything for now. Anyway, sorry, I'm thinking inside a box. This is something I need to fight over. Bishop e6, d4, takes, bishop b4. Well, as you can see, he has a strong center. So what I do? I need to counterattack. d5, knight e5, queen e6, knight d3 takes, knight c5, queen c6, queen d2, attack on my knight, and knight b3. And I would say that I am slightly better, but not so much better. After rook c1, queen b6, a5, queen b5, there's still some pressure on this pawn, and this is why you should, if you play knight f1, you should really make sure that you're going to move your knight out of this, backward position. As now we are fighting, I mean, our pieces are very active, and this knight actually doesn't do anything for now compared to this knight. That is super. And this knight only played one move in this chess game, and is doing so much of the job. Rook c5, and here some tactics work. So knight e4. You might say, oh no, why didn't you attack the queen? I mean, why didn't you run away from the queen, with the queen? Well, because now I take knight d2, and wait, what? He can take? And I need to trade, and end up with a rook down, yeah? No, because here the knight takes, and I actually end up with a pawn up, but still, no, it's not a one position. It's a little bit better, but I will have to really fight to win it. He took on d5 instead. I took on f1. Here some checkmate threats, as you can see. Who would spot checkmate in one for black? I hope everybody would. So f3 was needed to be played. Rook c3. This is actually the best move in the position. Protecting the pawn, keeping the rook active. Oh. Protecting the pawn, keeping the rook active, not allowing rook c5. Very good move. Rook e2, king f8. Why? Well, as you can see, my pawns block my king, so it's not really good if my king stays there, because any checkmates could just appear on their back rank. And as long as you have a problem with a back rank mate, you shouldn't really attack, because you're kind of losing a tempo. Anything happens in the game, he can just move back, attack you on the back rank, and now you have to waste the tempo to defend. So it's better to solve this issue right now. Rook b2, rook e6. Defending this pawn is very important. And, well, I wanted to only tell you about one thing. Look at this rook. This rook is kind of trapped on the 5th rank, unless it wants to trade. And unless it wants to trade and make some more weaknesses, and allow my king to be more active than his king. So king f2, king e7, king g3, and now rook d6. If we take, I take, and I end up winning one of the pawns. Let's say here, then yeah, rook a5, rook g8, g6, rook g7, rook a5, rook f7. And now I would really have to think about it. Yeah, rook h5 I would play. And now I'm really happy with the position. a5, this pawn is already coming. This pawn is already coming to a1 and almost becoming a queen. Anyway, king f6, rook h5, rook d4, rook d5, rook h4, rook a5, rook f5, and I am a pawn up. So now when you're a pawn up after a drawn position, I mean, still it is pretty much drawn. Slow down, think of a plan. Also, after 40th move, we were added 30 minutes each on the clock, so really the game slowed down. We were able to think of a plan, and my plan was to basically, because I predicted that I'm gonna play a5, rook e2, rook c5, and now my plan was to play king b6, rook b5, rook b4. That's it, and then just be quicker than my opponent with these pawns, trying to get through these two pawns. King e6, rook d5, king d6, h5, king c6, king g3, king b6, rook f4, rook d7. Why? The more I move my pawns, the closer my pawns are to his pawns, and you know what? He wants that. Why? He wants that because it's gonna be quicker to exchange and create this one isolated pawn that's just gonna walk down to the queen promotion place, destination. G5. What? Wait, don't I have G5? No, and passons. But yeah, this is something I keep in mind. If he plays H6, G5. That's why I play F6 now. I was afraid of H6 before, because, well, we end up already, this pawn is already free, almost free. That's why I was scared of that. But here after H6, it doesn't work because of G5. So he plays rook G2. I play C6, like a little move, defending my king from H6, G6, and rook F6 with a check. Plus, well, you know, this move doesn't change anything, and also it allows my rook to be placed on A7. This is a very important move. G5, and here rook D5. This is a mistake, and I want to show you guys. You don't have to play difficult chess to win chess games. You just need to play moves that matter, and then you just play C6, and your opponent makes mistakes themselves. Okay, so look, G5. Here you need to play rook to D5. Why? Well, attacking the pawns here. If he takes, rook H5, king G4, rook here, king G2. Wait, and then yeah, GF. Even, let's say, rook b2, rook b5. Well, I mean, what's happened here? What will I do after? Takes, here. Yeah, I would just take. Let's say I would take, and I'm a lot quicker. Look, rook f4, here, and I won. Basically, I won. So yeah, c6, mistake. So he cannot really take. I mean, he shouldn't really do anything. I mean, this is a lost game. Rook takes g5, and we end up exchanging. Obviously, we cannot exchange another rook because I have only 4 moves to develop a queen. So rook b2, f4, rook d5, rook e2, rook d7. I am not rushing with pushing the pawn. I'm always trying to defend and get my position stable. Rook e8, a4, rook a7, king f5, a3, king g6, a2, rook e1, king b5. We are coming with the king now. Rook a2, h2, I guess. I mean c5, f5. Why? Well, because after we develop the queen, this king will need a lot more tempos to take this pawn. So it's a good idea. And now I played queen c4. I think the computer says this. Let me see. Yes, queen c4. I mean, yeah, queen c4. We are going to take this pawn and defend this one, and promote this pawn, and win this game. Okay, guys, in about 5 hours I'm playing round 5. Guy is around 2000 elo rated. Wish me good luck. Bye.